I'm Mike Gordon. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy. Last time, last time I made my way to Celadon City and I grinded both games up to 9,999 coins. So now I'm going to first buy the cheaper option, which is Dratini. As you can see, the prices in Red and Blue are very different. Dratini costs 4,600 in Blue, while Red's cost 2,800. Porygon costs 6,500 while in Blue, while Red, he costs 9,999 points. I'm gonna speed up Red a lot along here so you can actually catch up to Blue, because Red's gonna be doing a lot of the slots than Blue will. And I'm gonna try to address the elephant in the room here as best I can. Red and Blue are technically based on the Japanese versions of Red and Blue, which came out in '96, were actually titled Pokemon's Red and Green. And in general, things like maps, layouts, and etc., and version exclusives all carried over when the games were moved over to into the West with Red and Blue. So US and PAL versions of Blue version is actually Japanese Green. However, there is also the another thing to take into consideration. Japan actually had its own Pokemon Blue, which actually updates the graphics. And it's those graphics that, for the most part, is what you get in the West, and it's the graphical upgrades of Japanese Blue version that got carried over into Red and Blue version. So in a sense, Red and Green got ported over to Japan as Red and Blue through Japanese Blue's engines. Red and Blue still have Red and Green's version exclusives. However, because all the Western Blue version had to do was change up the version exclusives to line them up with Green version, whereas Red had to graphically overhaul everything to keep it lined up with Japanese Blue versions. What happened is that Red has these ugly ass slot machines versus the more cleaned up Blue versions. And this also leads to the coin cost for the Game Corner prize counters to be different. So instead of costing 9,999 coins to get Porygon like it would in Japanese Red and Green, in the West, Porygon still costs 9,999 coins versus Blue's Porygon being worth 6,500, which is more in line with Japanese Blue. This also affects the prices for Porygon, for the version exclusive Bug, Pinsir versus Scyther in Red version. And this also affects what level you get some of these Pokemon. And for the purpose of this perfect playthrough, this actually has the most effects Dratini. Dratini you get at level 18 in Pokemon Red, both Japanese and Western releases. Really not worth the effort getting at the slot machines. But in Japanese Blue and US Blue, Porygon costs 2,400. Costs 4,600 coins, but it's available at level 24. So, yeah, very quite the clusterfuck, but literally has to do with red and blue are technically modeled after red and green, but uses Japanese blue's assets. However, the assets are not one for one because the slot machines in Pokemon Red were ignored, as well as the prizes, the prize items at the game corner and their general worth. They were just left as is. It's kind of funny when you think about. Red basically did not alter anything from the any of the game corner slot machines and the prizes or anything like that from Japanese Red because the developers were porting this game over didn't think they had to. Whereas Blue kept trying to line everything up with Japanese Green, except for the graphical upgrades which it retained, and by extension the prizes. So Red's about done, and Blue needs to get the Lucky Sevens. How you do it is purely RNG based. Right now, my copy of Blue version is pretty lined up on the payouts. So I'm on this is what you would call a hot streak. It is extremely difficult and time-consuming to try to line up Lucky Sevens every round like I'm a task. But I digress. So what am I gonna do? Dratini's gonna be at level 18 in Japanese. Oh look, Blue version. Whereas Red's Dratini will be at level 18, whereas Blue's version is going to be level 24. What am I going to do about that? Because I have to do something, because the count will be way, way off. Well, you know how yesterday's episode I actually played all the way through Pokemon Yellow? Yeah, I played through Pokemon Yellow, got the first 5 badges, caught 6 different Pokemon, releasing one of them. And I also nabbed like 11 Rare Candies, because the other 3 is literally endgame stuff. Which would be a waste of time to pursue. So, what I chose to do here is I'm actually going to take full advantage of my accomplishments in Pokemon Yellow to help get Red's Dratini all the way up to from 18 to 24. That way I will be able to synchronize Red and Blue. Or at least keep that Red and Blue as synchronized as possible. It's not exactly foolproof, but it's better than nothing. Trying to say all that stuff is just mind-numbingly, Alright, I think we're just about done, but I need to find the Lucky Sevens in Blue so I can get this over with, because Red's about done with its campaign. Grinding 4 coins itself. Alright, come on. Alright, and right now I lost the hot streak, so I'm slowly manipulating Blue's credits. And I need to find the Lucky Sevens in Blue. Red doesn't need the Lucky Sevens because that game's about done. There we are. machine starts acting up and slowing down the pace, it probably means that they're about ready to accept Lucky Sevens and decide to give it to you. So, I'm a happy camper right now, but Red, because of the speed up option, is gonna finish just before Blue. But that's fine because Red and Blue are going to be done real soon. Are going to be finished at the same time. So I get to catch the most expensive thing here in both games, Porygon. Alright, and you gotta swap out the Mew in both our PCs for on our parties for the Dratinis that we need. Blue is going to actually teach Dratini Ice Beam right now, whereas Red can't really do that because, well, I made the mistake of teaching Ice Beam to Blue by replacing Thunder Wave instead of Agility. So I have to, right about now, so I actually have to do something different. So while I teach Blue Ice Beam, I'm going to look at our Pokedex entries. Pokemon that consists entirely of programming code, capable of moving freely in cyberspace. Long considered mythical Pokemon until recently, when a small colony was found living underwater. That's it. Time to reset, and now I'm going to link up Red and Yellow version. You can tell because the black barriers in Yellow are a little wider. This took a bit of a while to hook up because I have to make use of Dual Save RAM Rider, and for whatever reason, Dual Save RAM Rider's left RAM is bugged out. With it sometimes doing like the double saves, which would crash the game, and other times they use the same saves but the same data, so Red gets glitched out. So I chose to trade Dratini to Yellow. I actually absolutely need to do this. So this is technically the one time that I'll be breaking the rule, technically, but I also caught Dragonair, so no worries there. And I got to trade over Yellow's Mew, so I could keep the Pokedex count in Red and Blue fully synchronized. And what Yellow is gonna do here is cram in all the rare candies I accumulated right down Red's Dragonair's throats. I already used 5 of the 11 rare candies on Yellow's Kabuto because it needed the most amount of XP, and Dragonair didn't need the extra rare candies. So the 6 rare candies right here I'm feeding to Red's Dratini, and Red is just gonna wait for a bit. Now, unfortunately, to my knowledge, Dual Save RAM Rider has an even worse flaw than all that, in that there's no way to split up the files after merging them. So how do I actually make sure the data between Red and Blue, between Red and Yellow is fully synced up? Well, Yellow doesn't really need to worry about that much right now. With Red, I make use of PK hacks in order to restore the data that was already incorporated during the trade. Anyways, this is basically the end of the line for yellow as we do a trade back, which is Mew for Dragonair. And with that, yellow is basically set for its entire campaign, all the way up until it's ready to trade with Crystal. This is the only trade. These are the only two trades that Pokemon Yellow will actually conduct with either Red or Blue. And it is to get Red caught up with Blue. Nothing more. So, yeah. Perfect. We got one last reset to go because I need to teach Dratini Ice Beam and I want to keep it synchronized with Blue. As I said, this is the final task I have to do with Red before Red and Blue can play through the game with very little complications. Ice Beam to Dratini. Gotta teach him replace Thunder Wave. And with that, I'm about ready to save my game. So if you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gordon signing out.